Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Good. You were missed last week.
Yes, I missed last week. I felt not bad. I was just having a very intense day and I hadn't shaken it and gotten settled.
I
So
understand.
I took that time to actually meditate and calm down because it was just really, really intense.
No
But I'm
worries.
better now and I'm happy to be here today.
Well, we're happy to have you. Hi, Laura.
I
Are you still in outer space? Yeah, you are.
always
Happy,
are
what are
you
we?
in
Monday.
Madeira still, or are you back?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm in Portugal. Yeah, I'm in Madeira, Portugal.
Amazing. I
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
go there.
It is amazing. I'm not gonna lie. I was here in December and the weather was really kind of cold and rainy. And obviously, I love that weather too. But this one has been like paradise.
Yeah, my
Sunny,
boyfriend went
sunny
there. He
paradise.
said it was just awesome.
Yeah. Hi, Lena.
Hi, everyone.
I
Hello.
Let's see, everybody's starting to trickle in. Who did I just see? Heather. Hey, Heather. Jumping off camera for a few minutes. Okay. Jan is always good at communicating on the chat. Jordan is here. It's so funny. I don't really have to talk low, but I am in the lobby of the hotel, but nobody's here. It's like midnight. What's up, Jordan? So good to see you guys.
Your reel where you were showing in Portugal looks amazing. I love Portugal.
Oh my God, yeah. It's so cool. Oh yeah, the live that I did right on my way to dinner.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's such a cute little European town. How is it going, Ron?
It's going dark, but kind of weird dark. Look at that visual. It's kind of like there's an alien species invading my house right now. That's so weird. Why is it doing that? Can we turn it off?
Good night.
Oh, I get it. I know what's happening. It's because of my phone.
I knew you would figure it out. But I love your very like it's a very Wolverine picture that you have.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
there we go.
Okay, now you're Wolverine on camera.
Hello, everybody.
I
Hi.
All right, Maritza's coming in.
Oh
I
wow,
hope
I just saw Rosie's. Oh, just read Rosie's response. I hope
Right, left.
yeah.
So,
I know. Hey Roxy,
Hello.
Suzanne's coming in. Hi Maritza.
Hello, everyone. I
Hey
apologize.
Suzanne.
Hi.
I'm gonna have some snacks while we do our chat. Sorry, because I'm hungry.
All good.
Thank you. How are
It's
How
you?
was Portugal?
going really great. I'm actually So it's midnight right now, and my flight out of Madeira, which is where I'm at, leaves at 4 in the morning. So
Mm.
I think after the call, I moved out of my room and I'm staying in my friend's room, who is another speaker for the conference. And I'm just
Mhm.
gonna like quietly get in, grab my bag, and get on an Uber and start heading.
Wow.
Apparently, there's a big snowstorm on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Nothing nothing more exciting than just seeing all the connecting flights saying cancel, 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 cancel. But that
Actually,
was
it's a little cold in Miami today, and tomorrow is gonna be colder.
mm. Well, all the canceled flights were for today, so I think tomorrow I'm good. I think the snowstorm passed, right? Does anyone know, or it's passing?
I think so. I think so.
I can tell
I
you in
think
Massachusetts, it has stopped.
Okay, good. See, we got intel. We got feet on the ground.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know Lena was telling me it is happening here. Rosie. Okay, cool, guys. I say we actually do a little when we do the little breathing, we send her some love and good vibes, right? I think Rosie's in Mexico
yes.
dealing with a little contrast. Let's just call it that. She's exiting the environment controlling her. So she's like, I'm gonna get on the ground.
I hope she gets back smooth. She will. She will get back smoothly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was just watching a friend of mine saying that things are starting to open up again in
Good.
Guadalajara. All right, so let's start just getting centered. Okay. Everyone can just like sit up in your chair and just relax, let go of the day, close your eyes, and feel your hands on your lap. If you want to, like, I love doing like circular motions with my hands and my legs just so I can feel the energy, right? Now let's feel that energy from our hands down to our legs, to our feet, connecting to the ground. Feel that energy that you're creating with your hands, up your legs, up your spine, your crown, your 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 chakras, your heart. Feel it down up and down your arms, up your throat, and out of your head. Feel that energy that runs through your body, that takes care of your body. And now let's focus that light, that beautiful golden light in the center of your heart. Feel that light, feel that love in the center of your heart as it starts to expand into the rest of your body, healing your cells, oxygenating every single cell of your body, creating health, creating peace, creating coherence, creating love. And now feel this beautiful light, this life force exiting your body, going into your rooms, creating harmony in your rooms. So when you look at everything in your room, you feel good, knowing that it's your energy, your beautiful energy. Now feel your light going from your room into your streets, creating peace into your streets, creating peace into your city. Feel and see this beautiful golden light going into our country, creating peace in our country, Take a breath. Now let's see this beautiful light going into our planet, sending love all through our planet, sending love to Mexico, creating peace in Mexico right now, especially where Rosie's at. Picture Rosie getting home safely, back to her family, back to her home, back to safety. See all that area covered in that beautiful golden light, creating safety all over Mexico and all over the planet. Just coherent, beautiful golden light. This light now goes into the universe, creating coherence and love in the universe, creating empathy, creating order. Perfect, perfect order. And now this beautiful white golden light goes back to our heart, taking care of our heart, making sure that we take care of ourselves, our beautiful selves. I want you to feel a lot of joy and a lot of satisfaction for completing today, completing your Monday, which you did great. You did as good as you could, and it was a great, great effort. And now let's take 3 deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. 1, 2, 3, and out. Slowly open your eyes. All right. Good to see you guys. Well, who did the homework? Heather, you did. Yeah, well, before we get into the homework, I would love to go through some wins. If anybody wants to share a few wins from the week from the last time we spoke, could be anything that you feel good that happened that you want to share. Joylan, since you used the
Hi.
technology, take us there.
Hi everyone, how are you doing?
Great.
Actually, I want to bring it up. I know you know it's my Kala.
Mm-hmm.
I went on Friday. I was invited to actually help I don't want to say my coworker, my coach, my mentor, like in the sound healing, and he had like the Chinese New Year event, and I actually went over there. It was my first, not my first big event, but this one was like a main big event. So I
At the
felt proud of
at,
myself.
at the Kala Center?
The Kala Center, yeah.
Dude, I was telling you that I wanted you to go there, remember?
What
It's
is
called
the Kala
Guys,
manifestation.
Center?
It's called
yeah.
manifestation.
That's why it's so important to speak things into existence, guys. Seriously. Just you having a thought, there's a reason why we're having a thought, our dreams, our goals,
Yeah.
like just speak them into existence and life will take care of it. So basically Joyland I had a vision of him meeting one of my mentors because he has this beautiful botanical garden in Miami. And I'm like, man, that'd be so great if you, and he ended up playing at his center. Wow.
Yes. I was part of the reception. I was playing the gong, like doing
Was
the
Ismail
energy
Kala?
cleaning. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, what's that again?
Okay. Sorry, I just was curious about the Kala Center.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ismail Kala.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I was part of the event, and I didn't actually get to meet and speak to him since it was like a big event. But I know it will come another time that we will like
Oh, yeah, for
be more
sure.
present and more face to face.
Dude, what a
But I want to
win.
bring it up because you mentioned it, so I'm like, wow, only if he knew.
That's awesome. Thank you
But
for
yeah,
kicking
it
us
was
off
very
with
nice.
that. Amazing. Amazing. Good job. Anybody else wants to share some wins? Heather?
I'll share. Um, So this was something that I had been working on. And I don't know if it's kind of off topic, kind of on topic, but I've never been able to, in my past, been able to visualize like when my eyes are closed. So like it's just black, right? So like I can't picture like an apple, thinking of an apple, see an apple, or picture like see my son's faces. It's something called aphantasia. I didn't even know it was a thing. But anyway, so I've been working on that this week and like in my meditations and I mean I've had it happen at like an event where I'm able to visualize, but there's so much energy, it's just interesting things happen at a dispensa event. But when at home, I've just never been able to visualize. And so I kept just telling myself like this I'm going to be able to visualize my son's face when I close my eyes. And it was just like, it's a little win for me because it just has never happened. But I started to be able to close my eyes and visualize um, my son's face, which to me is a really big win. But I think I've been always telling myself I can't do it. So, so it started to happen. It was really special for me. So I just want to
Mm,
share.
Yeah, I
I,
like that share out there. That was cool.
good
That was
job.
cool. That aphantasia, is that what it's called?
Aphantasia, but about 2 to 3% of the population can't visualize. And I thought everybody was that way. I really did until a couple of years ago when somebody did this little test with me. And I always thought visualization was more obscure, like kind of like theoretical, I abstract. I just thought everybody, when they closed their eyes, it was just always black. And so when that happened, when I realized that I'm part of this population that wasn't able to visualize, I was like, oh my gosh, you can close your eyes and you can see a vision of like you can, and so anyway, I've been working
But
on
you can't, but you can dream though. You have dreams.
that.
No dreams.
Well, I don't remember them. They're not visual.
Well, I
Come to
don't
Puerto Rico
remember.
and you'll have dreams. I never remembered my dreams ever since moving to Puerto Rico. I don't know if it's the energy here. I can remember my dreams vividly.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
That's it.
really wild.
Puerto Rico can fix it all.
I'm gonna-
Taxes, visualizations, everything. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you,
Yeah,
Heather.
I want
Anybody
to share
else?
after. Yeah, I do. After Heather's visual that she gave to me,
Hmm.
uh, um, I have been reading a lot about how scientists have come to the understanding that since you can't stop energy and our body is made up of energy, there is life after death. It just does move into another dimension. And and Einstein, I think I said this during my first call with everyone here. Einstein said there's life after, I believe in life after death because you can't stop energy. And so I've been fascinated by the idea of like what we're doing right now vibrationally will move forward. And I like that resounding effect of existing. So I've been happy with that idea.
Yeah, it's true. They're even saying that I was at the first day of the day of the year of the horse. I randomly ended up like at a run club with like 100 people running that morning, like wild horses. And there's this whole theory that all these run clubs are popping up because humans have been called to create energy. And the energy that you create when you're running is massive. So, yeah, I
You said wild
definitely,
horses, which I now hear the song in my head going off.
yeah, yes, wild horses, I said. That's how I felt
Yeah,
that day. That's how this year is
Roman
feeling
stuff.
for me.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anybody else? Well, I'll go really quick. So I came to Madeira to do a keynote, and I did it 2 days ago, and I was to a group of 50 Germans, and they were great. They were great. And they really loved it, and it really hit home, and it's just another opportunity to, tell the story, talk about the principles. I actually had this one guy that does a lot of Tony Robbins, and he said, he gave me one of the best things I've ever heard. He was like, this was the missing link for me with Tony's work that I didn't get from Tony's work, you know? So it just really made me feel in touch with the mission of the work, and how we're all have different flavors of our own thing, right? Our own 4 minute mile. And what a perfect way to segue into the homework assignment on chapter one. Did you guys read chapter one, or you gave it a look? Yes. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Who would like to share about chapter one and the theory of the 4 minute mile, and preferably someone that hasn't shared yet, because we want to hear from everybody.
I'll go if I can talk.
Yes.
Okay. Based on chapter one and what I believe you were conveying to us, my 1 minute mile is as follows. I now have the opportunity to use a walker to navigate around, and it's given me the 1 minute mile example, in that I can now accept help from people without saying no, no, no. Graciously say yes, thank you for the help. And I think what is happening is other people are looking and saying, well, okay, Roxy's getting help, and she's saying it's okay to get help. It's okay for me to get help too. And I've realized that it's such a gift for me to be able to accept help and to accept compliments. And it's way bigger than just the help with the walker, but it's an overall arching sort of situation whereby in the past, I would never want anyone's help for anything. I can do it all myself. I don't need help from anyone. And now, after given the opportunity to have a walker, I've learned so much about the idea of being comfortable in accepting people's help and truly being grateful for the help.
That's beautiful, Roxy. No, I love it. That's so beautiful. And I talked about that on my talk 2 days ago, that it's so important to be on both sides of the spectrum, right? On being helped and help. And you, in your own way, you're always helping people. I mean, from all the people that work with you and you've supported, and to know that life is about playing both roles, and yeah, and
That's
how obviously I think we're, a lot of times we think like, no, I'd rather be helped than be helped, right? But if we don't have that percentage of people at those certain times that need the help, then we don't get to do service, and service is the most beautiful thing that any of us can do, right? So so essentially you're the one that's doing us, or you doing them a favor. So but yeah, I love that. Super inspiring.
Well, chapter one really helped out with that, helped me sort of put that into context just by your examples.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you. I don't know if you guys saw that. I sent a video to a bunch of you guys. Know Eric Dane, right? Remember that actor from Grey's Anatomy? That he just passed away. He made a video. Did any of you see that video? I know. I tried sending it. So so that's, he basically said what we talk about every week, right, guys? Like, this
Mhm.
moment,
His
right?
last
Like,
words, his last words to his daughters, basically.
yeah, that
Yeah, I think
video.
Mhm.
it was live in the moment. Number
Hmm.
one rule was live in the moment. Number two was fall in love with something, just fall in love
Yeah.
with anything. And then number three was choose your friends wisely.
And go
Hmm.
for it and and never give up.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's
And
beautiful.
and those are things that we're all
Mm.
constantly talking about, right? Those are the
Mhm.
principles of the method, and those are things that, and I know obviously there's times where reality is a little easier to digest than others. And that's where we gotta open that toolbox and really shower ourselves with perspective, remembering that millions of people would kill to be in our shoes at all
Mhm.
times. And I told this story 2 days ago when I did my talk, but one of the there was one of the participants that I was a caretaker for the whole time in one of the retreats, who has ALS. He said that he really felt, and again, this is just his own feeling, but he felt that he once told me, he's like, I know why I got ALS, because I constantly used to tell everybody about my problems, and then I would have to then re-talk about them, and he felt like he was constantly putting himself through stress. Now, that's what he told me. Who knows if that's even true, right? But that's something that intuitively came to him. I didn't, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just sitting next to him, and he looked at me. He goes, I know I got this. And again, not as a I certainly don't think at all that ALS or MS or any of that is any kind of a punishment. It's just we all have different paths. And and to be able to get to those paths, and I mean, listen to what Eric Dane said, was there was so much humility in that, and it's almost like he was the 4 minute mile in a way, so we could all really gain perspective in our lives, right? Because everyone that's in this call right now, no matter who you are, we're not going through something like that, right? So these souls, these amazing people that go public on on their diagnosis or situations like that are the ones that give us that that extra air so we could fly, right? That above all the things that we're trying to overcome, whether it's physical or mental or money or relationships, we got to really, really hyper focus on all the gratitude that's really in our lives. You know, yeah, that was really that was a powerful video that he made for his daughters. Um, does anybody else want to share something that they got from reading chapter one? Heal faster, help faster. Heather is always good for it, but I want to hear from Lena. And she raised her hand.
Oh, I
Man.
figured it out. Um, all right, I'm going to try to keep it brief. What I would say is that my 4 minute mile was during COVID time when I had the death of three loved ones in a very short period of time. And the first one was probably one of the most influential people in my life, my best friend. And when he died, I was in deep, deep mourning. And around the same time, I realized through going to the doctors that I had also, goes back to Laura from a couple weeks ago, so I can relate. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease, Hashimoto's, and it was through the roof. It was pretty bad, and I was very stressed out. And then in the same year, not just months later, my business partner died. And it was just he and I in the business, and I'm a lawyer. And so that meant I had to take on double a caseload. And it was nothing short of hell. And my blood values went through the roof. It was really, really bad in terms of stress and the disease. And so that's when it was just really negative. I just couldn't, I wasn't sleeping. Everything was terrible. And I started hating everything. I just hated my job. I hated uh, judges and clients and lawyers, and nothing was going right, and everybody was nasty. And it was just my bad perspective at the time. And that's when I decided I needed to turn it around. And that's when I really started getting into Joe Dispenza's work and the meditation. And I went to London I think now this must be 2022. And after doing that, I was able to turn my blood values around and almost reverse the Hashimoto's. Um, and so I realized through that experience that it's all about changing your inner self first, and then the outer environment really will change. So it was all about changing my mindset and changing my attitude, and I guess just plowing through what I had to do to get through the days, and doing it with a good attitude. And it really turned my health around. And through that experience, the third loss was the loss of my sister in the next year. And so I guess through all the losses I had already suffered, that made the third loss a little bit easier to deal with, because I had a better heart and mindset for it. So that's my 4 minute mile that I got through doubling my caseload and the stress and the loss of three people. I made it out alive, and my health is pretty good.
Beautiful. Thank you.
It's 4:30.
Thank you, Ron. Always count on you. I know LA's doing okay. No, and Lena, did you find that did you go into just a gratitude practice, or you started kind of marinating into all the things that were going for you, and then did that give you kind of a bridge, or when you
I
change your state, what did you do?
I think it was mostly about recognizing that I was the problem, and realizing that it was my attitude that needed to change. Things were hard, but things are hard for a lot of people. So I just recognized when I was having those negative thoughts I needed to turn them around. And I did a lot of meditation, and kind of brought the peace and stillness into my life. And certainly there was a lot of gratitude. And I realized, well, I'm really thankful for these clients. I'm really thankful for this, thankful for that. So it's all about mindset and turning it around, and it makes such a big difference, in just daily happiness, but also health. It's so impactful.
Right. But are
Yeah.
you still angry? Because that's
No,
what no, you're not. So that's what I'm dealing with. I still have eruptions of anger at my life circumstances.
Yeah.
yeah, I
So
You're
would
not.
say I totally changed. I was never really an angry person to begin with, but that whole scenario kind of set me on a bad path. But I was able to turn it around.
so here's the thing. So and I got a really big download about this last week. Like you guys have to remember, the mind's job is always going to be looking for things to save you from, right? It's always going to be scouting for things to save you from the emergency type stuff, right? So quieting the mind is it's not about as good as it's going to get is not quieting the mind, but observing the mind, and almost like creating that separation where you can be like, oh, okay, like a little kid. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Protect me. Okay. So I don't know exactly how, I know for sure that it would be such a service for you guys, and many of you do it. And if you don't, it's never too late. Just creating that time where you, especially in the mornings, right, or right before bed, where you recalibrate your nervous system, and you go in instead of being out there like we are all day long, right? Because all day long we're putting attention on, you got to do this, you got to do that. You're like the Lena or the Heather action figure, the Joylan, and where am I going to play next? And this was great, but there has to be a moment where you start connecting with that observer, if that makes any sense. That's watching the mind. So you realize that you're not the mind. And the more that you're creating and feeding that separation, the more that life's still gonna happen, but it's not gonna hit you at a level 9 or 8 or 10. It'll be more a level 2 or 3. Now, Ron, how are you in creating your own type of meditation practice for yourself? A time where you are logging off. Is that something that you're actively doing?
No.
And that's why things feel the way they do for you.
I do think that I spend enough time during the day reminding myself to be existential. But I think in terms of the right kind of habits that this group probably practices, I don't do that. But I definitely have gotten to the point of just realizing how my anger at my life circumstances is not going to do me any good, and yeah, and part of that relates to the method by not expressing my anger. You know, like for example, I haven't said anything specific about what I'm angry about, my life circumstances. I could, but I don't feel the need to because that's not the most important thing right now to me.
Right. No, I hear you. And again, listen, and by the way, meditation doesn't need to look like, a lot of people, they find journaling a way to decompress, to get out, to be part of that observer. I think it's just something that, you've been in this conversation for a while, and even if it's like a couple minutes, you know what I mean? Again, you got to do what you got to do, but I think that that would make such a difference, if you were to give it a shot.
I think it would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Anybody else?
I
Suzanne. Oh, so, all right. So I saw Suzanne's hand. Suzanne, and then we'll do Laura.
yeah.
And if any of you want to have any wise words for our lovely Ron in his 4:30.
Well, that's what I was going to talk
What about my
about.
anger issues?
No. Okay, so then maybe let's go Laura first and then Suzanne, because I think Laura had something specific for Ron.
Well, it'll be really quick. Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, I can relate to you in like I don't feel like I'm an angry person, but of course I get angry at times, but it doesn't have to always just be anger, like frustration or I get like hyped up about something, and I find that I mean exercise has always been a good outlet for me, but that's what I really love about Dr. Joe Dispenza's walking meditations because I feel like I can get into my body, get the blood flowing and kind of like release stress simultaneously. Because I know sometimes, like, I will get, like, even this morning, for example, I try to do my meditation and I was just kind of antsy. And so I find that,
Moving the body.
uh, yeah, the walking meditations for me can be really powerful because I can get going fast. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
I
so
just
I don't
did.
know.
changing your state.
Right. I like my neighborhood, and it's really when I am getting totally like angry and stressed out at home because I work from home, I just say take a walk, Ron. Go outside, and it's so
Yeah.
relaxing. I agree with you.
Or have
Yeah.
a dance party in your room. That's another thing that helps me.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, totally,
moving
totally.
energy, such key. And if you are doing those things, and again, it's biggest thing, give yourself some grace now. If you're angry, let yourself feel angry. Like, don't, like, it's like you feel what way, then you feel I shouldn't feel that way. No, take away that I shouldn't feel that way and just feel that way.
Well, the anger is just wasting my life, my precious life. There's no reason to be angry anymore.
Or just
You know what?
scream, let it
I'm
out.
gonna say this. I'm gonna say this now, but I don't want to get into it. So I'm suing my mother right now. So I'm actively have a lawsuit against my mother. I'll leave it at that. But that's part of the anger in my life right now. So
Hey, man.
this is you didn't know this one, Jorge.
No, and it's fine. Listen,
Yeah.
but nothing is like, if that's what you got to do right now, then you're not the lawyer. Then let the people that are doing that handle it, and you got to start focusing on what's right in your life. And this doesn't even need to be the what, the how, the mother. That this is obviously an experience that you and her have to go through,
Yeah.
and the best thing you could do is just, if you're going down this path, you're handling it, and now focus on things that bring you peace, whatever that is to you,
Well,
and only you
and
would
that
know
was
that.
right. And that was the thing that I contemplated was, do I really want to do this? Is this going to bring peace to my life? And my answer was yes, it was, or it is. And that's kind of the basis of the lawsuit, which is, well, it's not the basis of the lawsuit, but the emotional tone of the lawsuit is, I'm not going to live the rest of my life suffering from what you did to me, period. So let a jury decide. So, okay, but I'll leave
Got
it
it.
at that, though. I'll leave it at that.
Got it. Got it. Thank you for sharing. Seriously.
Mhm.
Thank you all for always sharing. Suzanne. And then we'll go to Heather, because Heather, sorry.
So I'm a yoga instructor. That's what I've been doing for a majority of my life. And I went to the yoga journal retreat, and there was a very wise and seasoned yoga instructor, probably one of the best Ashtanga yoga instructors there is. It's a type of yoga. At any rate, he said, it doesn't matter if the person does the poses. What matters is that you get them on the mat and they keep coming back. And if they get on the mat and they keep coming back, yoga from the inside out is going to change them. It looks like it's an outside thing because it's forms and shapes, but it literally changes you from the inside out. And that's always stuck with me because I thought it was really powerful, and it really was true. It really did. People came to yoga to do yoga and because they thought it'd be good for them and maybe it would help them spiritually and all of this. And people that were angry, people that were hurt, people that just needed someone to put their hands on them and adjust them because they probably weren't hugged or even, touched in an appropriate way. Maybe for weeks or months, right? And so I found that when I was teaching that was a really, really powerful thing. And so I kind of applied that and keep on trying to apply that, like with the Joe Dispenza meditations and things like that. And also sound healing. I listen to sound baths all the time, by the way, and they're really powerful. But at any rate, my new husband and I moved far away from our friends and our family, and it was not met with, this is my 4 minute mile. It was not met with love or support by many, mostly our family. And some of my closest friends that lived in town near me. And I mean, it really knocked me on my butt. And it caused my health to go down. Roxy heard me complain a lot and whine a lot and be very sad a lot. And maybe Jorge did too, a little bit. And, you know, I just kept on listening to the sound baths. And they're, you know, they're on Spotify. It's not like what you do, but at any rate, I kept listening to that and kept really just having faith that what all the masters that have walked on the earth say must be true. And, you know, I look around this house now and I look at, I love my husband. I mean, but I just feel so grateful and happy now. And that might be why we'll actually end up being able to move now. I don't know. But I've come through it, and I've come through the sadness and the depression, and you know, almost feeling like I'm gonna lose my sight. It was I've been through a lot of challenges in my life, but this was my most recent one, I'd say. And always taking the high road and always having faith in those masters that walked on the earth. Yeah, it really helped me. And this book helped me, and the first chapter helped me a lot, reminded me. So thank you. And thank you to all of you for listening and for telling your stories. I'm so grateful.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, as well. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. It sounds like, I mean, just from the last conversation, right? It's that leaning in, right? It's like Ron, Laura, Heather, Maritza, Jorlan, Gianna, all of us, right? Roxy, what if we all just really leaned into our lives without trying to make it different? And realize that this is it. Like there's a bigger reason than us why we have the circumstances that we have. Ron's going through the circumstances that he is with his mom. Roxy is with hers. Lena with hers. Heather's Maritza with hers. Mine with mine. What if this is it? What if this is like something that, and we'll never know for sure, right? We'll never know whether it's like destiny versus free will. I don't care who you are. You could always debunk one or the other, right? But what if it doesn't even matter if it's free will or destiny? What if like this is our lot of life? And we had to really just reframe the outlook of it and be like, if this is my lot, if this is my house, if this is my body, if this is my mom, then I'm going to lean into this is what I got. And I'm going to do the best that I can. And that's going to look like whatever, you know, that's going to look like me not fighting it. That's all that it needs to look like, you know, not fighting it and look at all the great things about it. Like right now I live in a place in Miami, which is not like where all like the sexiness of Miami is suburbia. But I have this incredible park that there's so much nature, and that's where my attention's going in this beautiful park. It's not going into like the chic Miami or whatever. It's going into my circumstance because I know that when I do that, then I'm training the brain to love what is. So then when my situation changes to whatever it is going to change, because it will change, then I've trained my brain to love what is of that situation. So what if we just systematically and organically trained ourselves to loving what is? Just consider that, you know? And then you're just always just falling in love with your life, and you're just scanning for those things that you're grateful for. And that is heaven on earth. That is heaven on earth.
But I also think that there's the natural desire to effectuate change, to propagate. I mean, that's the basis of evolution, is a forward momentum. So we're always going to want to effectuate change.
Absolutely. I'm
just saying that accepting what is, I'm not happy with many life circumstances, but some of them, I I don't want to. I want to change them.
Accepting what is wrong, think about it this way. Accepting what is you are in solid ground versus when you don't accept what is, it's like you're trying to launch out of quicksand. Think about it that way. When you don't accept what is, it's like you're trying to shoot up out of quicksand. But when you accept what is, now you can shoot up from solid ground. Does that make sense?
It does. It
I mean,
does.
listen, and again, you have a right to feel exactly. I'm not. This isn't to prove you wrong or prove you right. You
Hmm.
you you are where you're at. You know. I personally, the way that I digest it, for me, it's like I can be passionate that I'm working towards that huge mansion that I want to one day own in Miami Beach. I'm not staying away from that just because I'm completely in alignment with where I am right now. Does that make sense? That just because
Yeah.
you accept what is, it doesn't mean like, oh, I don't want this. It's subtle. I get it. It's subtle. But I can passionately go for all those beautiful things that I want in life while at the same time surrendering to where I am at the moment. It doesn't have to be one or the other. They can both coexist.
I like the use of the word surrender because you do have to surrender yourself to things in life, you know. So
Funny you say that. The Brit hate that word. All my British friends, and I'm like, you can't use the word surrender. That just means that you've given up. And I'm like, pick another word. Anyway, so we
oh yeah.
got the point across.
See, now I
Gianna,
got Cheap Trick on the mind. This next song is the first song on our new
yeah.
album.
Sorry,
Surrender.
Gianna, and then we'll go to Heather and then Maritza. Sorry, guys. I'm just going on a tangent. Gianna.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for Heather and Maritza, but I'll jump in. I was just carefully listening to what folks were sharing because I wasn't sure if I hit my 4 minute mile as yet. But my experience having read chapter 4 and connecting with what's personal to me is when my mom passed from cancer in 2022, for me, a lot of things shifted. And I have been working on leaning in to what my life circumstances, or I have been working to accept the hand that I was dealt. And it looks very different for me going through that process from what I was accustomed to. And that looked like keeping your grief inside, keeping your anger inside, not challenging um, things that were said or other people's story. So in her passing, I think of it in this way. Had my mom not passed, which is the cost she paid, I find myself growing and expanding in ways I would not have if I still had her, if that makes any sense. And that came to me shortly after she died because I was really angry. Like, why does it take her passing for me to now get this concept? Or, oh, this now makes sense. So it's like, it's a heavy cost to have lost my mom, but it's almost like she gave life to me again in a different way because the things that I challenging and questioning and unlearning and learning new things and healing, it's like the greatest gift because I have myself and I can I can feel myself being a better person to myself,
Mm,
and feel myself growing in a way where I show up differently. I show up differently as a friend, as a mom, as a wife, in business. So that's why I say I'm not sure if I've hit my 4 minute mile because it feels as though I'm in this process. But the healing part that I'm going through is allowing me to help those around me, not in an intentional way, but through me changing and expanding, I just show up differently. So I can see how my relationships are improving. I can notice when I'm now noticing, like, oh, the universe is supporting me in ways that I would not have paid attention to before.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That sounds like a 4-minute mile to me. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Maritza.
Yeah, so this goes a little directed to Ron. Ron, I try to meditate as best as I can. So I'm one of the in the group that sometimes I make it and sometimes I don't, because the hamster keeps going. So don't feel bad that you haven't gotten there yet. You will at your time. So I've had a lot of 4-minute miles, but today I just want to share that I'm feeling right now. I almost feel like Ron, like angry, and unfortunately, Ron, you're going through a whole different scenario than I am. Because today's my ex-wife's birthday, and for 24 years I've celebrated her birthday with her, and I feel like I'm so alone. And even though I have friends and family and support, I just feel like, you know, this is not where I should be. I should be celebrating. I should be this. I should be that. And, and it just sucks because you go back to a place you don't want to go to. But instead of trying to get myself out of it, like I've been doing, I'm just letting myself stew in it. And if you want to feel it, feel it. And then after the call, if I want to go see a movie, so watch a movie at home, I'm going to watch a movie and not be happy. I'll be happy tomorrow. Right now, I don't want to be happy. Because that's just how I feel. And it does suck because you put so much work into, the podcast, your book, coming together with all these beautiful souls, uplifting ourselves, and then to feel that downer, it sucks. But just wanted to share that. That's where I'm at.
Like George said, it's part of letting yourself feel it. And it's okay to feel like that today. Tomorrow you're gonna feel better. Trust me. Their brain has memory, so you cannot remove that in a day, in a month. So give it time and you will heal. Trust me.
Beautifully said, Jordan. Yeah, it's like today you get to give yourself full permission to be where you're at. You too, Ron. You too, Lena. You too, all of us. Like, this is it. Like, no more resistance to how you feel. Now, you told this group, maybe you don't need to call anybody else about it. But as far as you being with your emotions, you are so 100% entitled to it. So thank you.
Thank you, George.
Thank you, big time. All right, Heather, then Roxy.
Okay, so my 4-minute mile, it started in COVID, and my whole world had come crashing down where my husband and I were separated. My son was in and out of rehab. He was only 13 to start, and he ended up doing like 5 stints in rehab. And my other son was having panic attacks, and everything just crumbled. And I thought I had this like really perfect life, right? And interestingly enough, since I was a teenager, since I was 18, I used to have debilitating panic attacks. I mean, like I've died 100 times plus in my head. Like I've been to the ER many times for panic attacks, think I was dying. And I used to model, and so there was always all this pressure. And so I over the years took all of that panic and that anxiety and that pressure with me. And so when everything fell apart, or before that, I thought I had like this perfect life, right? And so when everything fell apart, And then on top of like getting attacked and all of these things, like just I hit the bottom. I'd never hit a bottom like that. And I was having such bad panic attacks that my hair was falling out. I was having such bad panic attacks that even though I was running a business, I couldn't function. And everything, and I always just thought everything needed to be so perfect in life, right? Like perfect, perfect. And I just had these control issues. I didn't know I had control issues. I didn't know that all of this was happening at the time. So when my world just like shattered, I mean, we spent our entire life savings on rehab, right? Like it was just really bad. We were broke, all the things. It was when I finally said I need to shift, similar to Lena and saying like, yeah, something has to change and it's got to be within me. And I didn't know what that was at the time, but that's when I started to get into meditation and started to get into Joe Dispenza's work. And when I started and I was on heavy medication. I was on SSRIs and, Xanax were like breakthrough and I needed it. And I mean, it was bad. And so um, when I started to meditate and when I started to make that like a regular practice, I learned so much about myself. Like I saw all the things and I realized that my external world may have shattered, but I needed my internal world to shatter in order for my external world to rebuild. There was no way it was going to rebuild with the internal structure that I had set in place. And I was and through this process, I guess my 4 minute mile is I like to joke and say like I meditated my way off Lexapro.
Mhm.
I meditated my way off these
Mhm.
medications. I learned how to self-regulate and I learned how to release all of these control issues that I had had. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, right? Like I still like it still wants to happen regularly, but I can recognize when I'm like trying to overly control
It's 5 o'clock.
and so I guess um one of the most important parts to this was that when I learned how to self-regulate and I got off of the medications um, that I felt were not numbing me, but it just kept me somewhere here, right? Where I really wanted to feel more in life. When I started to learn how to regulate and let go and not be so controlling, then all of a sudden, like my relationship with my husband repaired. My son and I's relationship got so much better. He didn't completely stop using, but we had a relationship and we were talking. I wasn't trying to control every aspect of him and his life, but he was safe, and just my life just it unfolded in a such a beautiful way that if I hadn't crashed so hard, I would not have realized what beauty is right in front of my face, and to really appreciate and love and accept life as it is right now. And it's not easy. It's not, I don't have an easy life right now, but I can love where I'm at to understand that there is growth, there is change, but I can let go. I can let go. I can still move forward and still plan and still do all these things, but I can love where I'm at right now. And my relationships with people, with my family is just like I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. So that's
Yeah,
my
oh, that's beautiful. And I think that the big common denominator there is you creating that space where your observer can watch the mind, so the mind doesn't have such a tight grip on your emotions. That's all it is. It really is creating that space. So good work. Absolutely. Roxy.
Jorge, I think Suzanne's trying to get in.
Oh,
Just
she
FYI,
is?
she texted me. I think so. She texted me. She's trying to get back in.
Oh, I don't, you know what? It's not showing that she's trying.
Okay.
She
I'll tell
does.
her.
But did you have anything that you wanted to add,
Oh
or
yeah,
you
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go quick. One of the things that I'm hearing from everyone, and it reminded me of something I wanted to mention earlier, is that the bridge across all of these discussions, for me personally, is gratitude. It all comes down to gratitude. Being grateful that I may end up with a walker forever, and really having deep gratitude for that opportunity. And one exercise that I did that I was thinking about when Ron was talking was I did this exercise whereby I wrote down, and this is you, Jorge, saying call it into existence. I wrote down everything I'm grateful for, down to the guys that are in the fields, plowing the fields that allow me to have oat milk in my coffee. And when I went down to that level, I'm like, holy crud, I have so much to be grateful for. The list is endless for me. And it was an exercise in really, truly experiencing gratitude. And that was my bridge, was just understanding no matter how dark my day might get, and my days typically are not dark, they're filled with so much gratitude for all of the extreme opportunities that I'm having at the moment to experience my new situation. I am so grateful. And that exercise it just blew me away. Thankful to the milkman that brought the milk, that enabled me to have this. Just if you take it all the way down to this, just the most minute level, for me, I realized I had so much to be grateful for. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share, was just the bridge, was the gratitude for everything, all the things that are going on in our life. And every one of you mentioned something that had gratitude in it, even if you didn't say I'm grateful for. What I heard you saying was you were grateful for XYZ. And that just made my heart very tender. So thank you all.
Thank you. It really works, guys. I just put on the chat, like, and Ron, I can send you, Ron, like a 5-minute guided one, meditation. If you take on from now to next Monday, just when you wake up in the morning, 5-minute meditation, or if you do more, that's perfect. And you literally get a notebook and you write 5 things that you're grateful for. You are not you're going to experience so many miracles. It's going to blow you away. And all those things that you're dealing with right now that we've talked about it, guys, they're just going to lose their power. There's no way it cannot, because you are just brain training yourself to scan for things to be grateful for. And your brain is just going to start looking for them more. And whatever it is that you're handling, fine, handle that. Let the experts handle that while you focus on things that you're grateful for. And it's a game changer. It's night and day. And I'll see you guys on next Monday, and you'll be like, oh my God, it made such a difference, especially, and I would lean in like Ron, like you said, if it's a situation that's on the extra heavier side, you, out of all people, you almost like you can't afford not to, for yourself, give it that.
Yeah, I don't want to live my life with pain.
Yeah.
I want to live life flying high.
Yeah. Good. And we're all a stand for you for do that. You just got to do your part too, you know? And I'll send you this 5-minute one that I'm thinking about. And you gotta, it's almost like, yeah, like you're entering a fasting, or you're entering um um a new behavior that you're getting in because you want to get fit or whatever, you got to do your part. You got to do your part and be gentle with yourself. That's why uh, if you can do 5 minutes, that would be ideal. That on itself would make such a difference in your life. I'll guarantee you. So I know
Can I just
what
say one
happened.
thing? Can I
Yeah.
just say one thing, Ron? Ron, I got to tell you something really quick. When I started with meditation, like if somebody would have said to me 5 years ago that I would be meditating regularly every day, I would have laughed my ass off at them. I would have laughed my ass off. I would rather run at that time a half marathon than sit for 5 minutes with myself. And so I can tell you that at first it's not easy. And you're gonna body's gonna buck and scream and your mind and all the things. But if you stick with it, you get better at it. But you got to stick with it. And I'm telling you, if I can do it, you can do it. Sorry, I just wanted to say that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Suzanne's getting in. Nice. Yeah. I just let her in, but I don't know if she was able to come in. All right, guys. I do have to start heading for the airport in a little while. But before I go, before we all go, anything else that you want to leave the group with, that you want to share? I don't want to cut it abruptly.
You have
just
homework
want
for
to
us?
share.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
no,
just
that's
wondered if
okay.
he has homework.
I think he put it in the chat, the 5-minute guided
Oh, he did?
meditation in the morning and
Yeah, and
five
yeah,
things
For next
before
yeah.
week?
I wake up.
Okay.
For next week, I put it on our chat in our WhatsApp
Thank
group.
you.
But go ahead, Laura.
Oh, I was just gonna say real quick, well, tagging on like ditto what Heather said, like when I first started meditating, I was just like, this is not gonna work. Like this is not for me. And now I can't imagine my life without it. But also just really quick, the gratitude is so powerful. And I feel like even, I mean, some days like today was really chaotic for me. But if I can remember to come back to like, just being present or, think of something I'm grateful for. I'll never forget there was someone a long time ago when I was on a dating app, and one of the, some of the dating apps, they have like the questions like, oh, what are the 3 things you're grateful for? And I'll never forget this person wrote every single breath. And that to me was just incredibly powerful. And I'll never forget because that's something we take for granted so easily every day. And, we wake up. That's actually, I was watching a clip the other day. I was talking about that's like we're born and that's the first thing we do. And then when we die, that's the last thing we do. So,
In the book The Magic by Rhonda Burns, she says that the more that you are grateful for your breath, since it's the most basic thing, the more that you attract everything else. Yeah, there you go. That book is amazing. I highly recommend it for everybody. It's just a really, really intense, incredible gratitude practice, the whole thing. So yeah, you see what the homework is. 5 minutes, I put the guided one. Ron, give it a shot. You might be really surprised, man. And it's guided, so you don't even have to be in full silent. It's actually really, really nice, relaxing words and sounds. So give it a shot.
Okay.
All right, guys, you are amazing. Thank you so much. I am heading out off to the airport,
safe
and
travels.
Safe
thank you.
travels.
Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I'll catch up with you soon. Any questions? By the way, I love how people are writing things, anything that's inspiring that can, be a contribution. Feel free to write. This is all of our chat. So thank you for those that have been super active. thank you so much. And for all that haven't, feel free to do so if you're called to. And, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
George.
you.
Have a great rest of
Thank
your
you,
week.
everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a great
Bye,
week.
Thank you.
guys. Bye,
You as
You guys
Marita.
well.
too.
Chaito.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Jorge.